Hello, welcome back to the channel, and in this video we're going to be breaking down the new Clayface trailer. Clayface is James Gunn's next DCU movie. It is going to be set before Superman and Supergirl, so it's not going to have anything to do with those movies, as Clayface is predominantly a Batman villain, so it's going to be based in Gotham, and it is the first DCU body horror movie. In the past, we have seen a lot of solo villain projects, especially Batman projects that have worked, such as the Joker and the Penguin, which are both rated quite highly. So if this film does well, it does have potential to be classed as one of those greats. Just by looking at the trailers that are out so far, you can very much tell it's a completely different tone to the previous DC movies. Clayface first appeared in Detective Comics 40 in June 1940, so this villain has been about for a while. We've seen various iterations through comics, the animated show, and even Batman games. There are different iterations of the character, but Matt Hagen is the version that we're going to be seeing in this movie, and he first appeared in 1961 in Detective Comics 298. So in the trailer, we start off by seeing him sitting down, having what looks like a consultation with Caitlin Core, that's basically offering him a solution to his disfigured face. We don't see the scars at the moment, but we do see a plastic mask on his face, which just in general looks quite creepy. Since his face has been disfigured so badly, he just wears his plastic mask, which pretty much covers his whole face, apart from both his eyes and his mouth. The treatment Caitlin Core's talking about is cellular repair, so it's not plastic surgery and it hasn't been tested before, so no one knows about the side effects of the treatment. But at this point, Matt even says he would rather have bad side effects and even be dead than live the way he's living at the moment. And this is basically going to be Matt's last option. Caitlin Core is a brand new character that isn't in the comics, and could even end up being a love interest to Matt at some point. We then get a few shots of Gotham, and visually this film looks really good. It obviously looks different from the other two movies we've seen from James Gunn, but Gotham is more of a grounded city, and just by this trailer it does come across like it's very crime ridden. We get a shot of Matt walking down the street in his mask, and not only has he lost everything, but he's also even getting taunted by what's happened to him. The way the movie might be paced is we might actually start off seeing Matt in the mask already being disfigured, and then we see what happens to him and his origin through flashbacks and time jumps, as this is the way the trailer's been paced. We see a few shots of his lifestyle before he was attacked, and he was basically an A-list celebrity, living how you'd expect them to live, where they're on the beach, they're in the private jets, and he was seen as one of the top actors. We do also see him in a shot outside of a theatre, but at this stage this might already be where he's already had the treatment on his face. We do see him running down an alley in another shot of the trailer. We do know when he was a celebrity, he's surrounded by lots of people. Two people we'll see in the trailer is just this random girl in the club who we don't know who it is, but it could turn out to be a girlfriend, and then there's another person when he's getting on the private jet, which is his agent. He does say in the trailer that he was betrayed, so chances are one of these people around him ended up betraying him, which led to the mob ended up attacking him. We get a shot of Max Minghella, who is playing the detective, who's actually in a relationship with the person giving Matt the treatment. We'll probably see him doing one of two things, either hunting down Clayface when he starts attacking people, alternatively trying to hunt down the mob that ended up attacking Matt at the start of the film. We do get a shot of the mob pinning Matt down and basically cutting his face. We do see his face in the end and all the scars on it, and these aren't like your average scars, so they definitely would have done more than just cut his face. It's not only scarred, but it looks like he's damaged his eye socket, and his skin's all rugged as well and very bumpy, so it's definitely not pleasant to look at all. We then find out that the treatment actually worked for a short amount of time, and Matt's face comes back how it was originally. However, the first side effect we see is then on an aeroplane where his eyelids were actually shutting down, like almost looking like they were glued together. He then goes to the bathroom and tries and cuts it open, but I think in the movie this is actually going to end worse for him, because in this shot you can see how badly the plane's rattling around, and chances are he's going to end up just stabbing himself, then actually being able to cut his eyelids open. Either way, this very much leads into the body horror side of things. The way Clayface works as a villain is body dysmorphia reacts to normally his mental state, so if he's really angry or is mentally not well, it'll be really hard for him to maintain his figure. So an example of this, he'll literally be in an argument with someone and then literally he will start melting because his body reacts to the mental state he's in that situation. From what he's saying in the trailer, that he is angry, he does want revenge, and he feels betrayed by people around him and the justice system of Gotham. So once he does get his face back, he's probably going to go on some sort of revenge journey, and throughout the second half of the film, slowly his body's going to get worse and worse to the point where he probably can't stay as the original body of Matt anymore. We get a shot of someone punching him and basically his face just smudges out the way. We get the shot that we've seen originally in the first trailer of him in the bath, and it looks like eventually he's just going to kind of melt into the bath. Then it teases kind of the fully liquid form of Clayface, which we know him for in the animated series and the games, and then he goes from like a liquid form to a human form, which we see in the shadow. show, and then at the end it does tease us the full Clayface monster that we know. I don't think they're going to reveal this in the trailer. It gives people a reason to go and watch it in the theatres, but I do think there will be quite a few scenes of him as the full Clayface monster that we do know. Overall though, I do think this movie looks really good. It reminds me a lot of the Joker film, but a lot more towards obviously the body horror side of things. It's very different from the other DCU movies we've seen from James Gunn's universe. I do think this will appeal to a smaller audience, even if this does really well, and it probably will make money because the budget for this was quite low. However, I don't think it's necessarily going to really save the DC universe at the moment. We know it's probably not going to have the Batman or anyone like that in, or any other Batman villains in, but there's definitely going to be Easter eggs in there. Let me know your thoughts on the trailer, and thank you for watching.